Kidnapped, walking the scene with you in old flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. Their insight is so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome back to the VHS Club, and a huge, huge, huge happy birthday to our favorite Mr. Paul Duncan, the one and only.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Oh, we are doing it big time for your birthday because this is hands down one of our favorite movies that we forgot how much we loved. So sorry if you are not a fan of Monty Python. This is the wrong episode for you. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is not the first Monty Python movie, is not the only Monty Python movie, but certainly is my favorite. How about you, Nat? What do you think?
Oh, it's Life with Brian. No,
One's my
favorite. This one's my favorite. Close to Life with Brian.
Yeah.
But also just the show, like the regular show, the Flying Circus was just amazing.
Yeah. When I think of the show, I immediately think of the parrot and I think of the silly
6 Feet
walks.
Under,
Yeah.
Blue,
Yeah.
Dead as a Doornail, Stiff.
Yeah. And I am very curious if you're hanging out with us live or if you're watching later in the future, let us know whether or not, if you're in the States, let us know. So if you're an American, is Monty Python as big a deal for you, as it is for us Canadians and likely all of the Brits out there? I assume so, but I am just curious.
It's gotta be. I mean, okay, the Commonwealth, of course, everybody knows this. Mm-hmm. That's only 100 and some odd countries. But no, but America, wasn't it Elvis's favorite movie?
It was one of his favorite movies. He quoted it often. But how can you not quote this movie? This movie, right. Even if you hated it, is so quotable. It just sticks in your head.
I fart in your general direction.
I fart in your general direction. Watching it through again, I had this visceral reaction where I was like, oh my gosh, this is where everything that I say comes from.
Yeah.
It's the movie that I didn't even realize that I am just quoting
just a
nonstop.
flesh wound.
Yeah, just a flesh wound. Although I've been saying it wrong this entire time because I always say merely a flesh wound, which I think sounds better, but apparently the real quote is it's just a flesh wound, which, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll let them have it. And please feel free. I see Josh already starting, but if you have favorite quotes from this movie, just throw them all in the chat. We're just gonna quote this movie all the way through. There are so many great ones. Paul, I assume, is saying yes to loving this movie. So, so good, perfect that we're doing it for your birthday, Paul. Perfect. Well, it is the 50th anniversary of this movie, which is wild. This is 1975. So we're on time with an anniversary. We're killing it.
Once.
Jaws and then this one. We're killing it in the anniversaries. And I think we did Back to the Future in anniversary year. So yeah, we're doing super well. I will say right off the bat, because we are going to do an episode all about cult classics, and this one is not a cult classic in the traditional like
It's just a classic.
understanding of it. I mean, it has a cult following, but this one really actually outperformed in the box office. So it had an insanely low budget, which is why a lot of what we love about it exists. Like they were like, we can't afford horses, so let's think outside the box and just click coconuts together. It'll work itself out. But it did really well.
So their indie funding is why they got away with doing and saying the things that they didn't said in this movie. I mean, it was a huge, like there was a huge social commentary. There was a huge commentary on gender equality and democracy and equality that they wouldn't have got away with if it was a studio production.
That is a really good point. I mean, it definitely is. Again, like I love a comedy. I love one that is just so layered. Like this is slapsticky. It's got social commentary. It's a satire. It's got like wordplay.
It breaks the fourth wall.
It breaks the fourth wall. It's ridiculous. Like it's
got running jokes.
It's
bring out your dad.
Bring out your dad. It's but a scratch. There's so many good lines. Joe is confirming that in the US Monty Python is very popular. So we're all
I think it's just like English speaking nations love this movie. I think that's the only qualification, is that you vaguely understand English enough.
Well, I am going to challenge you with trying to explain what this movie is about. You can go straight-laced, or you can just hobble together whatever you'd like. But how would you explain this movie to someone who has never seen it before?
It's
talk to Val.
It's a movie. It's a movie performed by a sketch comedy troupe with the themes of Arthurian legend. That's it.
That's what we got. It's King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
It's kind of King Arthur, kind of searching for the Holy Grail, kind of mocking everything from, Margaret Thatcher to the witch trials.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like as SNL. It's an SNL movie before SNL movies existed.
It's a British SNL.
I'm like, no offense to SNL, because it's like also heavily Canadian, but like it's a witty SNL movie.
It's a witty SNL movie. Yep.
It's,
I
mean, Eric Idle, John Cleese.
Words would only ruin the experience. Yeah, let's do it. And Hank is saying, I love this one. It's only missing the holy hand grenade. Paul says,
I love the holy hand
grenade.
grenade.
Wave my private parts at your aunties, you cheesy lot of secondhand electric donkey bottom biters. Oh, man.
You donkey bottom biters. You gotta have the ridiculous accent.
I will say, so Josh just shared this awesome story. Josh says, my dad had the arrow hitting Concord and Concord saying, message for you, sir, as his email notification sound on the family computer in the early 90s and in the late 90s and early 2000s. I was talking about this movie with my co-bosses, Ken and Glenn, a couple weeks ago, and they were saying that they have this entire movie memorized because the quotes from it were all of their computer notifications for like all of college. Like every single thing that made a sound made a quote from this movie, which I want to do now with my current everything.
Let's do it.
We should just
Ken and Glenn, come on.
We should
Can you just make like a GUI for us?
We should absolutely do it. It is awesome. So let's go through. So it's hard to even like review this movie. There are a bunch of knights. There's a whole bunch of other ridiculous characters. It
is based on King Arthur and the legend of Arthur, and it's kind of in seriousness touches upon Arthur and the Roman knights, because they were from Italy, taking over what is now known as the UK, which was more of an indigenous tribal. There was the Celts, there was the Jutes, there was the Saxons. there was, a whole, sorry, that was political. So it's them sort of coming in and taking over, and Arthur like sort of trying to round people up and rally him to his cause.
Yep.
His cause being the Roman Empire, under the guise of unifying everybody under, and I'm saying this as in, because like they touch upon it in the movie, is quote unquote religion. Like, it's a tool that was used historically to get people under one umbrella, right? No offense, like I'm just in context of the movie.
Yeah. I do love there is a moment in this movie where the knights are coming in to like save everyone, and the village people that are there are like very confused as to what's happening.
They're like, but we're democratic.
They're
what
like,
do you mean
we're
you
fine.
rule all of us?
Who are you? What's happening? Why is it happening?
And that was like a real historical thing too. It's like, what do you mean you
Sure.
want one person to rule us when we all have like a vote in what's going on? It's like, so it's cheeky and still super relevant. So the movie, I think, definitely stood the test of time. Surprisingly, we didn't expect those topics to still be relevant. One of my favorites was them mocking the witch trials.
Yeah.
Not Salem, because it happened also in the like everywhere.
Yeah.
Samson, I think it happened a lot that was in Scotland. I can't think of specifically. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
All
But
across the UK and in
in Prague and all over the place. But how they mocked it, and they're like, "Why are you saying she's a witch?" Well, because she has this like nose and these warts. And they're like, "But it's a costume you put on her." they're like, "But what's really wrong with her?" And they can't. There's nothing wrong with her. She was just, wrong place, wrong time, existing female.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. And then they admit in that scene that they just really want to burn a witch.
Yeah. Well, it seemed that she turned a guy down.
Yeah.
So
but they're just like
now get
very
rid of her.
disappointed about the fact that they may not be able. They're like, no, but we just wanna,
Which is so funny, because historically now what we know about the witch trials is really it was just a way to cull the minorities from becoming majorities and to cull mental health issues, so it's just a way to get rid of people that didn't fit with your ideals as a governing body. And they made fun of that in Monty Python, and that was pretty iconic, to be honest.
This this fact from Paul: for the Japanese release, Holy Grail was translated to Holy Sake Cup, which is
That's
just
amazing.
fantastic. I did not see that one in research. I think this is crazy. So the trivia that we posted while our intro song was playing, for those of you who are not watching with us, the budget for this movie was only something like £229,000, which is crazy low, and it was financed largely by bands like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Elton John,
Jethro
Tull. Like, it was just, for some reason musicians were just like, all in. Let's just support this one.
Well, I feel like the Monty Python guys were kind of in with the whole rock and roll scene. Like it was a time where there was a mesh between type of celebrity, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character or a favorite scene from this one? I'm sure probably a ton.
Oh, okay. 2, the Black Knight and the bunny.
The Black Knight and the bunny. Yeah, the Black Knight and the
So
bunny.
the Black Knight, like,
top 3.
just a flesh wound. Like that, like he's losing limbs and he's like, no, I'm fine to still fight. No problem. And then I also like the whole dialogue about how when the like little village is like, we don't need a unifying king for the whole country because we're good governing ourselves.
Yep.
He's like, imagine I told you some boink lady of the like lady covered in water threw a piece of metal at me and would declare me emperor. Referencing Lady of the Lake and the Avalon, like sort of Mists of Avalon legend around Arthur and the pagan sort of rituals behind him, which basically is what Christians, like Italian Roman Christians, use to assimilate like the Celts and the Jutes and everybody in what is now the UK
Yeah.
under one umbrella. So it was kind of, that was really, really funny. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that like 12-year-old me would have definitely said the knight and the bunny. Those are absolutely iconic. So Nat talked about the
That's
knight.
me.
I think as an adult rewatching it, my all-time favorite now has shifted to the French soldiers that are
Oh,
on the
yeah.
rooftop of the castle that are just like throwing animals and like wagging their hands and making silly faces and saying the best possible quotes. I love the "I fart in your general direction." I love Paul had one for earlier. Yeah, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Thanks, Hank. Yeah, their insults are so like, as they started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just like flooding back to me and how much I love this scene. Those three like stand out the most in my mind, but there are so many other great ones.
Like the French soldier line of like, our wit outstands your whatever. like basically like our words are better than whatever weapons you're trying to devise. Like they tried to make a Trojan horse, except it was a bunny.
It was a bunny.
Except they forgot to put anybody in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Trojan Bunny is fantastic. Paul is saying that the theatrical release contains 527 jokes, including 42 in the opening credits, for an average of one joke every 10 and a half seconds. But they're all funny. There's not a single one that I don't like think is funny.
It's like even when they have a joke and they start dragging it out too long, like in the scene where, who was it, the knight that's devoted to chastity.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you
not Lancelot, the other one, I don't know, whichever. And he's in sort of it's like a castle filled with women, a harem of women that are trying to
seduce him.
Like they're knowingly using their sexuality to defeat him from finding the Holy Grail, because they know, like, the joke is that men are so stupidly blinded by women's sexuality that they will not be able to see past it to get the job done. Mm-hmm. And that's quite funny.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I love, so I'm just going through here, the iconic scenes. So the Black Knight, as we said, is I think probably one of everyone's favorites. The witch trial, which we talked about, the killer rabbit of Caerbannog. The rabbit. The Knights Who Say Knee. That's another fantastic one. And then the French Taunters. Those are what the internet voted as the top scenes in the iconic scenes from this movie. But there are a bunch of other ones. One that I really like that's like a smaller, maybe a little bit less iconic scene, but I love is the real life moment of the historian getting murdered, and then like his wife and the police officers.
It's
like
that breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, or it breaks the fourth wall, and then they're like having this conversation like as the movie is still going on around them, which I just think is
like a hilarious David Attenborough kind of character narrating the history of Arthur.
Yeah,
and he accidentally gets like swept up in the carnage of the Arthurian scene.
And it's just
I also love the running joke of the sparrows carrying the coconuts.
Yes.
So the sparrows migrate. Yep. So that's why they have coconut shells to make the horse sounds.
Yes.
Not that the movie didn't have the budget for horses. Because that was the reality of it, is the movie didn't have budget for horses. So they came up with the coconuts clacking to sound like horse hooves.
Yeah.
And that was just like a happy sort of mistake. Or like a happy, not mistake, but a happy like light bulb moment of creativity for them to add in this extra layer of joke.
I love that they were like forced into this financial box where they're like, okay, well we have absolutely no money with which to make this movie, but we're gonna make it anyway. And so instead of making like a cheap movie, they actually used it to be creative and I would say way funnier as a result. Like the coconuts
Oh,
as
yeah.
the horses came out. So they literally just have a guy falling behind them, clicking the coconuts together as the horse sounds, which is hilarious and like was at something all kids were just like, now we need to do this. And then the opening credits, they actually like ran out of time and money to do the credits. Paul is saying they actually did no end credits whatsoever, but the opening credits,
No, because they did them at the beginning,
yeah, but they were like,
which is so funny.
the opening credits, which go on for forever, they ran out of time and money to do it. They were like, oh shoot. And so they just
we fired these people.
they just like make it into this endless ridiculous joke where like they're like they fired these people, there's like a back and forth, and it becomes like this hilarious part of the movie that just sets the tone of how ridiculous and insane this movie is going to be going forward. So I love that they didn't allow something like, we actually don't have enough money to make this movie, to get in their way. And it
It
like,
did give them the freedom.
it made the movie even better, and like it decimated at the box office. Like it made a killing, this movie, which I just think is wonderful, and then still has this long history and a cult following on the other side of it. So it's like the anti-cult classic where it just was like, nope, we're gonna become
It's just a
famous
smash
anyway.
hit.
You were saying that like you didn't think that this movie is dated. So this is 1975. This movie's 50 years old.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single moment in this movie that felt
We're still talking about witch trials
dated.
and how
Yeah.
like it's like I've recently seen like academic papers published on how the Salem witch trials were just about, you know, persecuting people with mental health and schizophrenia. I was like, yeah, we knew this like 100 years ago. Like, but we're still talking about it. Equality, still not a thing. Like, it's both comically and sadly still very topical to where we are.
But even like
At least, you know, we kind of always knew where we stood, at least in our lifetime.
even like the filmography doesn't feel overly dated, and I think part of that is that it's like it's medieval, so like there are knights and so like that just feels kind of evergreen. And then I do love because they again had no budget, and because probably they thought it would be fun to do it this way, there is a scene kind of after, I think it's right after, where they battle the man-eating rabbit, this tiny white but vicious man-eating rabbit with big teeth that comes out of them. But they go in through this cave and there's like a monster in there. And instead of
animated.
Instead of dealing with the monster, they literally just draw the monster, and the monster is animated and it's like battling them. And that doesn't, like, it feels as weird as everything else where you're just like, yeah, sure, this doesn't feel dated. This just is. And then the animator has a heart attack and dies. And so the animation.
Because they couldn't afford all the animation.
Yeah, because they can't afford all the animation. So the animation just like ends. And that also doesn't feel all that dated, or like they're able to, I don't know. It doesn't.
No,
It's
a very
it really does
clever
hold
way
up.
of budgeting your filmmaking that people would still be able to do now, and people still do now. You know, it's not like, didn't Napoleon Dynamite kind of do that sort of thing where it was like an indie low budget film and they had some animation inserted here and there, and there's a few films like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Does Napoleon Dynamite have animation?
Maybe. The
Can't
Paul
remember.
is saying the killer
Something along
rabbit
there.
is the inspiration for the Vorpal Bunny in fantasy role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The King of Swamp Castle says that Sir Lancelot killed all those guards. They cost 50 pounds each, meaning that he killed 300 pounds worth of guards, which I think
Which would have been a lot of money.
incredible.
Like back in King Arthur's time.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, just the ridiculousness, I think, of this all the way through. I'm looking at some of the trivia that Paul hasn't yet mentioned. So the Swamp Castle wedding scene was shot at a real castle that only allowed filming if no horses came inside. So there's all the running around and all of the chaos in that scene. As we said, they couldn't even afford horses anyway, so they didn't bother having them. There's so many incredible characters and incredible moments in this one. And then it starts ridiculous and then it ends completely ridiculous as well, where like the police arrest everyone, and
Yeah,
then it
they
just kind
break
of
the fourth
abruptly
wall.
ends.
It looks like the cops are actually breaking up the filming, like the production of the movie, as opposed to them breaking up King Arthur's like big battle for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
It's not like the two Henry IV moment with, Kenneth Branagh and all that. Like it's the cops were just like, the bobbies were just kind of like, well, you can't film here, like, and breaking it up. It was, yeah, that was really funny.
On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place.
Which was the inspiration for Spamalot, which is still performed. Wasn't it last year when we went to Stratford, Ontario, Canada, not England? They had just performed Spamalot before we got there.
Yeah, and it in 2005 it won the Tony Award for Best Musical, so it is definitely a popular one. I've never seen Spamalot,
Still very
but I
relevant.
feel like I would really enjoy it.
Rewatching this the other day, I was like, yeah, we really need to go see Spamalot. We being Katie and I, definitely.
We dine well here in Camelot. We eat ham and jam and Spamalot.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a little bit about kind of just the ridiculousness and the breaking the fourth wall and kind of this low budget creativity. I mean, this one had like a really huge impact on comedy and on, absurdist comedy. And as you said, like it really, like, when you think of like comedy, you think definitely SNL, and I think Monty Python is right there and like the kind of equivalent, I would say, a little bit higher.
SNL, SCTV, Python, like Monty Python kind of led the pack, right? Like it was all kind of in and around the 70s that it all sort of started, but yeah, it definitely, I feel like they were kind of the first iteration of what we have now, and yeah, I still love SNL. Like it still has that, they still push the boundaries, they still do all these sort of things, they do the running bits, they do the social and political commentaries, they push it quite a lot. And things like South Park in their own way does the same thing too. And yeah, it definitely sort of led to a whole genre of its own.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
Or what about the nights?
And John Cleese.
John Cleese is absolutely amazing. What about the nights who say knee? Were the nights who say knee funny to you? They want a shrubbery.
Yes. And I love when they like come back with the shrub and they're like, hey, we are formerly of the Knights that say knee, and now we are of the Knights that say whatever.
Yeah, some long crazy.
It's like, go get us another shrub so we can make a path. Yeah. Like they just want to plant a garden.
They're like night versions of Ewoks in my mind. They have the Ewok vibes. They want a shrubbery. Looking through all the different quotes here. The French tongue.
The hag who's like, no, not the knee.
Oh, I will say when I like the bring out the dead scene was also another one that it kept kind of
coming back
up
in
my mind. Yeah. Where he's like, I'm not dead. Well, you will be dead soon. Well, I'm not dead now.
Well, good. Just go for a walk. And also the sparrows. So at the beginning, you see King Arthur with his like little knave, like doing the coconut clacking, and the people on the wall of the castle or fortress that they stopped at to try and recruit knights. And they have this whole conversation about sparrows. And it's like, well, why don't you have a horse and you have coconuts? And he's like, well, he just kind of brushes off the fact that he like obviously is like new to this land and has no money and doesn't have a horse. And he's like, well, coconuts are readily available. He's like, how? It's like, well, the sparrow drops them because the sparrow migrates. He's like, what do you mean? And they start talking about the whole physics of like a sparrow carrying a coconut, and it just goes on, and it comes back up. And they mention, is it like swallow.
Swallow.
And Is it like the English swallow or is it the
Josh is
African
on it.
swallow?
They're swallows now, not sparrows.
Yeah. It starts with an S
Swallows.
and it's a bird.
I did read that apparently I don't have it written down in front of me. I should have, but the calculations that they do of like how much weight could a swallow carry, like could a swallow carry coconut?
I'm sure it's right.
No, it's apparently wildly inaccurate. Like it's actually not at all
really?
accurate, but they just do, which makes it funnier. And I love that you bring this moment up because this I think is really like in many ways the brilliance of the level of comedy that Monty Python does, where that is like introduced as a ridiculous concept, like almost immediately at the beginning of the movie. And then it comes back a number of times in these small, subtle ways throughout the movie that like, if you weren't paying close attention, you would miss it's right at the very end where they're asking them questions. And like, it's
like to cross the bridge of death or
to
whatever
cross the bridge. Yeah. To cross the bridge at the very
Which
end.
I love the guy that
up.
gets launched for answering his favorite color wrong.
Well, because he changed his mind.
It's blue. He's like, no, yellow. Bleh. Dead.
But it totally like that level of comedy makes me think of Arrested Development, which is again another one of my like all-time favorite shows. But that was another kind of piece of art and of pop culture that really clearly drew from this kind of comedy and from, I'm sure, Monty Python, where it like being able to kind of subtly draw back and pull back like to those jokes and kind of carry that all the way through. Like there's an episode of Arrested Development where the mother who's constantly drinking martinis is giving like air quotes and she's like with her martini glass. So she's like sloshing it all around. And then like later in the episode, Michael walks in and he just slips and wipes out. And like in the background of the scene, he was like, was mom here? it's just this like
Or the banana stand.
Yeah, it's like the callback.
Like the money's in the banana stand.
Exactly.
Is a callback 3 seasons later.
Yeah. Exactly. But like that is the same level of comedy as the Swallows here, where it's just like if you blink you would miss it. But if you've seen it, this movie is meant to be watched like 8,000 times and you will still pick up something new and something funny every single time that you catch it. I knew that Daryl would post this for me. The average airspeed velocity of an unladen, not carrying anything European swallow is approximately 24 miles per hour, 11 meters per second, which is apparently not true.
And
but that's
how
what they
far
say.
do they have to go for coconuts?
The airspeed of an unladen
what is
swallow.
their closest migration pattern to coconuts?
Yeah. A horse, a queen for a horse. I love it. I love that everyone is equally into this one. Yeah.
Katie and I, between the ages of like 7 and like now, like I've been quoting this constantly. And it's like one of those things that we quote so often that people just don't even know where it's from anymore.
I didn't know where a lot of it was from. Like I was watching the scene where they are I think it's the rabbit scene now. They're all blurring in my mind, but where they are fighting the rabbit and then they decide to run away. And we like that, even
Run
just
away.
that quote, which is like barely a quote, like run away. Like
They say it like many times throughout the movie. Every time something starts to go sideways, they're like, oh, run away.
Yeah. So that one is one that is just constantly like on repeat in my house. And it's funny. Now that we do this show, I've been realizing more and more how much I absolutely love comedies and how much these kinds of like slapstick and layered comedies like this are really like a huge part of like of who I am and of like, and just
I was gonna say witty comedies.
Yeah.
Katie,
Not
not just like
to a
there's some
point.
physical comedy in it, but it's also witty.
It is witty. But this
Don't
one,
sell
like,
yourself to slapstick.
well, I actually
love
also
slapstick.
really love slapstick, but
Yeah, you do.
But we have talked in the past
We all
about
do.
the fact that like a lot of those movies don't really stand up very well anymore. Like there's just a ton in them that's like wildly inappropriate and like most of them
Always shitting on the dad for being a dumbass.
right, like wouldn't be made anymore.
I hear
like,
you, Dane.
or the more that I watch them, the more I'm like, there's stuff in it that's problematic. But this one like isn't real. Like I
It's
mean.
like, well, no, because this one talks about like outrageous things like gender equality and democracy,
Yeah.
and like social economic balance. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a concept that people are struggling with today.
Yeah.
Yeah, been around since always. But yes. And I think that's what's so funny about this movie is that like it makes you realize that the same things we think are like radical now is just something that we've always talked about
Yeah.
as existing humans. Like it's something that a human experience that we've always had, and it's just we're reframing it. And it's like this movie reminds you like, yeah, hey, we're still working on it.
Absolutely, absolutely true. All right. Well, some fun quotes since I said we would throw a bunch of quotes at you. So Black Knight, none shall pass. 'Tis but a scratch, and it's just a flesh wound. I think he might have the best lines out of all of the
Yeah, agreed.
out of all of the characters, but everyone
Well,
will have
no,
to
the
let us
French
know.
guy for me.
The French guy, yeah.
The French guy for me. Everything he says is gold.
The witch trial. She turned me into a newt. And then the other guy says, I got better. The killer rabbit. That's no ordinary rabbit. And then we already said the run away, run away. The knights who say knee. We have all of the knees. Knee, 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 knee. And then the we want a shrubbery, which I think is great. The French taunters, which we mentioned, that it was your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Of course, we are French with this outrageous accent.
Mhm.
God.
Yeah, the English doing French accents is also funny. I'm sure it's probably wildly offensive to the French, but I really enjoy it.
Yes. But it's also like something that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Not just because of Monty Python, but also because of the show that we loved, Allo Allo.
Oh yeah, has anyone
Which,
seen
if
Allo
you
Allo?
guys-
That's a great show.
which just means hello, hello in French. It's a 1980s sitcom. It ran for like 7 or seasons or so. It's so good. And it's kind of this type of humor so we just kind of grew up surrounded by this. It's sort of like Allo Allo and Black Adder and even what's Mrs. Bouquet? Keeping Up Appearances.
Keeping Up Appearances, yeah.
Ab Fab, Absolute Fabulous. Like it's all that sort of humor that us as kids we were surrounded by and grew up with. It was on constantly. Sort of like, I guess, an 80s British invasion.
No, we need to go back and watch those. I've been living in the British murder mysteries space, but I may need to step back in.
Cozy mysteries are my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love
cozy mysteries is my genre.
But I might need to step back into some of these shows as well. Maybe an Allo Allo rewatch. Daryl's pointing out that John Cleese played the Black Knight is so good. Yeah, that actually it's important to note that so this movie was done by a comedy troupe similar to like an SNL, as we said. So a lot of these actors played like a ton of different characters.
Same as Mike Myers, who played the same characters. Like in Wayne's World, he played more than one character.
So I married an axe murderer. Yeah.
Sorry, I married an axe murderer. Austin Powers, I guess is his. So Austin Powers, where he played like 10 characters, like that. It's the same idea. And it's so funny. Like you see them, they all play like 3-4 main characters. So good. Yeah, Eric Idle, John Cleese, who else is? I'm like, oh wow, now I can't remember people from 50 years ago, which was before I was born.
I mean, I never remember names, so I'm the wrong person asking. You named the two that I know, so it's over. You'll have to look it up.
I used to know more than that.
You'll have to look it up. I do love that this was filmed mostly in Scotland, so I love that it was.
There was a lot of Scottish. There was a lot of heavy Scottish accent, which I was like, oh wow, like they seem to understand it. Terry Jones, of course. Terry Gilliam, Graham Chapman, Michael Palin.
And the two Terrys directed it, which I think is great. I think it was their first time directing together. Gilliam?
Gilliam? I know I'm saying it wrong.
There we go. Daryl's helping us. Graham Chapman. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think you dropped that one.
Anyways, there's a lot of really big names, especially from the time in the comedy world.
Yep.
Apparently Hugh Grant was in it.
Really?
Oh no, he was, or maybe not the movie, but in the Python made an appearance.
Huh.
I just looked up Monty Python cast, so that would have included the show in several movies. So like famous names that have touched upon the Monty Python world would be Hugh Grant and let's see, Richard Burton.
Yeah. So Richard
Eddie Izzard,
Richard
Bob
Burton
Hoskins.
is not the Richard Burton that everyone's so there was a Richard Burton
No,
in this
not-
movie that's not the Richard Burton
No,
that many of you
not
may be
the
thinking of.
American, different one.
A different Richard Burton.
Still famous. Anyways, there's a lot of really big names that are tied to Monty Pythons, and like in the UK, if you watch a lot of sort of British television, you'll see like, especially something like Midsummer Murders, where it's like a little cozy mystery show that's been on for decades. You'll see like now super famous people that were on it when they were younger. It's like sort of there's limited a pool of jobs in the UK, and people sort of cross-pollinated a lot of these jobs. So it's fun. It's really cool.
And John Cleese is still on tour right now. He's like, he is touring, which I just think is awesome. That they're like still, I don't know, out there.
He still makes very poignant social commentary.
I feel like I want John Cleese to be friends with like Steve Martin and Martin Short. In my mind, they are like in the same group of just
Mike
awesome,
Myers.
incredible. Yeah, Mike Myers.
Not Mikey, like Michael Myers from Halloween. Which we call Mikey because it's almost spooky season.
Yeah,
It is spooky season.
Yeah, it's basically here.
It's October.
It's October right now. It's October. I think we wrapped it. I'm trying to think what else we should talk about for this movie. But the thing with this one is that it's not like it's
You have to watch
story
it.
heavy. It's really much more like scene heavy and these like brilliant moments of comedy, of which Paul said there were like a preposterous amount. What was it again? I was going to scroll back up here. It was like a crazy amount of jokes.
Yeah.
That were in here. 527 jokes. We should have done, so don't play a drinking game to this one because you will be in the hospital.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely a really fun watch.
It's even when they were doing a joke and they felt it was taking too long, they made fun of that. Like they called it out. It's like, move on.
Yeah.
They made fun of the fact that if they were dragging out a joke too long, which obviously they would have done on purpose. But yeah, anyways, it was very fun. It's something you should watch. It's something super quotable. And once you watch it, you'll realize how often people quote it.
And the good news I think about this one, I'm going to knock on wood when I say this, but I don't think that these movies are ones that would ever be remade or sequeled. Like Monty Python just stands alone.
Give
and just
over
is,
to anybody who wants to try and remake this.
Yeah. It's a series. Josh, exactly. It's a series of sketches strung together under a common thing. All right. Well, so Nat and I shared what our favorite sketches are. So if you're hanging out with us here in the live studio audience and you have a favorite moment from this movie, drop it in the chat. I'm interested to see if everyone has the same moment, or maybe there's a collection of different moments. Let us know. Kimberly thinks that we want a rabbit. I've had rabbits almost my entire life. Now is actually one of the few moments I do not currently own a rabbit. But yeah.
Katie always had bunnies. Little lop-eared bunnies.
Just funny because apparently they are always, maybe like there was always the risk that they could go.
Some of them do. Your mom had one that was like the cutest little like miniature bunny fluff thing that growled and hissed like a vicious.
Yeah, they stomp their feet. They actually can be quite mean. They're
no,
not
but the one that
man-eating
like
mean,
hissed.
Yeah.
The one that was like,
Oh, yeah.
like it was so adorable.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Slash evil. Well,
terrifying. The only person it didn't try to attack was your mom.
Yeah. Oh, Josh points out a good thing. We didn't really talk a lot about the swamp castle scene. Josh's favorite scene is the swamp castle scene.
Oh God, that's true. The sinking castle. So it's in Scotland. They're building a castle in a swampy area, obviously, and then it sinks. So they build castle upon castle upon castle on top of it. So 4 castles later, he's trying to marry off his son to a wealthy princess, but his son is super gay, so he's
Does
like
not want
trying
to
to
marry
be
a wealthy
rescued.
princess.
He sends out like a missive, a letter to try and be saved, and Sir Lancelot tries to come and save him, thinks he's saving a damsel because she wrote such a compassionate letter to be saved, but it's the prince. It's so cute. I love it. Lancelot like goes like macho on this, like just gets to the castle, doesn't realize the knights are all like wearing flowered crowns and garlands and stuff, and just like murders everybody to save the damsel. It's like, oh my God.
And then has like weird. It's
When he
just like
realizes,
when he realizes,
like, oh, it's a prince. Oh, it's like, oops.
yeah, good.
But I also love the princess looked like she was played by a man in drag, which made me laugh so much. I was like, that's brilliant.
I know, because this one they said was one of the few Monty Python where there's not a lot of, like, there actually are a lot of
there's not a
women
lot of
actresses.
drag.
Yeah, there's not a lot of drag. So
surprisingly.
Yeah.
Because Python did not shy away from doing any of that.
No.
Okay, Katie, we have to tell people about the time we went to Greece.
All right, go for it, Nat.
We were in Athens, and it was at the, like, I guess, Parliament or whatever building downtown Athens, and it was the changing of the guard, and it was legitimately from the Monty Python sketch Minister of Silly Walks. They literally did the whole John Cleese, like the kicks and the little pointy toes, and Katie and I were standing there like, John Cleese got this from real life. Like, Monty Python didn't make it up. They just stole it from Athens. Like, they really dress like this and move like this. Oh my God. It was such a beautiful travel moment for us.
It was a wonderful travel moment. And if you are from Greece,
like,
well done.
Love Greece because of it. Like,
well
if
done.
anything, it endeared you so much more.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely amazing.
I mean, beautiful, obviously. Like, the buildings are all in like this marble and temples and everything. Like, it's gorgeous, but it was just so cute to be like, oh my God, Monty Python didn't make it up.
No, they
Loved
did not.
that.
No, they did not. Well, in typical Katie fashion, I rated this one without telling anyone, but I think Nat and I are probably on the same page. But if you're hanging out with us live, feel free to drop your rating for this one, and you could do it in rabbits. Kimberly's in the rabbit phase, so definitely vote in rabbits or vote in knights. I think there are swords. I don't know if there are knights or if there are swords, but I think there's swords emojis. Or vote in potatoes. That's cool too. You can vote in whatever you want.
Taters.
I went all in on 5 for this one. It felt like Christian Tater would be a fan of this one.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, Katie, to be honest, what movie do we quote more than this? There's Empire Records, there's
Princess Bride, which we have not yet done.
Okay, Princess Bride. Okay, so we do quote a lot of movies. Maybe we watched too many movies, but we did quote this. We still quote this one a lot. I mean, my brother still kind of does the "I will fart in your general direction."
I will fart in your general direction.
Yeah. He does that to me all the time.
This one was
he
one
like
of those
waves
ones
it at me.
Where it was only in the like you were saying, I hadn't watched it in a while, and then rewatching it, I was just like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies. This is definitely like, I may not have put this one on the list if someone was like, you need to tell me what your top 5 favorite movies are. I probably wouldn't have been there, but it really should be, because it really is. Well, Daryl's at 5 bunnies, Paul's at 5 swords. Josh is at 5 bunnies. So all of you could have done this episode with us and for us. So
I think Katie and I used to scream about the bunnies melodramatically for no reason all the time.
I will say that
in high school,
the bunnies and the knight are like, so one of the questions that is in our outline for this episode was, if you had to show if you had to show someone from like today who had never seen this movie one scene, like what would you show to like sell them on this movie? And for me, it would probably be the bunny.
For me, it would be either the Black Knight or the French Taunters.
All right.
I think
do
actually
love
probably the French Taunters.
I do love them. Apparently that was based somewhat on actual history, I guess. Like they did.
Yeah. They didn't get along.
No, well, yeah, they didn't get along. But like I guess back in the day, they actually used to throw animal carcasses over at like that was like a thing.
Cherchez le vache.
Cherchez le vache, yeah.
Get the cow.
Get the cow, yeah. Yeah.
God, that was good.
I mean, in this movie, they're not dead. They're like live animals that they're firing.
No, they threw live animals.
Cows,
I loved how they were
chickens,
throwing like dummies of fake animals, and then there'd be an occasional like real goose like flapping over the wall. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
And they're like banter. So like what they yell at the English and then what they say to each other, they're like, I told him that we
already have a Holy Grail.
We already have a Holy Grail. They're. You may have swayed me. It's them again for me at the top.
I love the French Taunters. That was probably, that was close to my top one. Always. I think yours when we were little kids, yours was definitely the bunnies.
The bunny or I don't know. It's one of those three.
The Black Knight is kind of like the Black comedy Knight, for everybody.
Where he was like, come back, I'll bite you. Where he has no limbs at all.
It's just a torso and a head. He's like, ah.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. No, I don't know. There's no... So good. Every moment is my favorite moment in this movie.
So now I'm feeling like we need to do Princess Bride, Lady Hawk, Willow, Brigadoon.
I know. Well, we have...
what is it? First Night with Sean Connery and Richard Gere.
Oh my gosh. Well, Daryl needs to share with the class. So Daryl says that he has a 12-inch collectible figures of the Black Knight and Sir Robin, Bloody Rabbit included. Please take a photo and send that to us or tag us. I would love to see that. Well, according to our schedule, Nat, so join us here. We have a schedule. So next week we will be reviewing Stand By Me. That's episode 98 for us on our quest to 100 episodes. And then the following episode, Amadeus, which we're really, really excited. Yes. That's episode 99. And then E.T., episode 100. And then a bunch of other fun ones on the other side. There is room. I will add that one in at Princess Bride. I'll add that one in. I'm not saying what it's coming after. If we tease too many and then we change our mind, people will be sad. Yes. But it's on the list. Princess Bride. That one is... Josh says yes to Princess Bride and Willow. I think I've said this on this show before. No one called Child Protective Services, but I say to my kids every single night since they were like born, I'm like, good night. I'll most likely kill you in the morning, which is entirely a line from Princess Bride, which they know is a line from
just a joke. It's just a joke. They've seen the movie at a young age.
They've seen the movie at a young age, but it is definitely one of my favorites. E.T. is going to be episode 100 for us.
I'm so excited for E.T.
Most highest grossing film of the 80s, I believe you said, Nat. So,
yes.
Yep. And
I kind of really want to sadistically invite your brother to be on.
We should invite him to be on. He
probably
loves it now.
Terrified.
I don't even know. I have not talked to him
I
about
feel
it.
like he's I don't know. I feel like he's just like, no, E.T. No.
It is. I will say, so I've been watching.
I mean, it was scary. He was little. Like, it was, I mean, we were little and it was scary. And he was younger than us.
Sad.
It was very scary.
It's scary.
I cry every time I watch it.
I'm laughing now only because I've been watching the TV show Resident Alien. No one tell me what happens. You've all been kind enough in sharing all of your feelings about how much you love the show, but it's so good. But there is a moment in that show where Harry, who is the resident alien, is talking about the alien from E.T. and he's just like he's so dumb, beautiful, but dumb. Really beautiful though. Really like the most beautiful alien. And I can't now. That's like in my mind, cute. All I can think of is that like he is the dumbest, most beautiful alien, which I just think is one of the fun.
And what's his name? Alan Tudyk?
Yeah, props to
he's one of my favorite actors
and crew and writers. That show is hilarious, but
I'm like, that's my type is Alan Tudyk. Like I love him. Wash from Firefly.
Wash from Firefly. Well,
he's
Paul
the
is
best.
correct. Everyone get ready. Quest to episode 100. We're going to do it.
Reese's
Get a bag of
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces unless you're allergic to peanut butter, in which case don't do that.
Yeah, don't
get
do it.
Get something else. But yeah.
So 80s to be allergic to peanut butter. Don't do it.
Exactly. So 80s. But thank you for hanging out with us for this one. This episode really was just a chance for us to get to watch this again and then just laugh for an hour with
It
you
really
all. So
tickled
thank you
me.
for letting us do that. It was a wonderful experience from start to finish. I got to introduce this movie to my kids, which was magical because it is not wildly.
That's the age where we started quoting this obsessively.
It's not wildly inappropriate, and they're like
No.
their squeals of delight in every moment is just great. So I cannot wait to watch it again with them, and many more times, many more times. Well, so next week, Stand By Me. Join us, same bat time, same
excited.
bat channel. So that will be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, and then Amadeus, and then E.T. for episode 100. And then that's it. We're calling it a wrap. I
was going to say, our next 2 episodes both have great soundtracks.
Great soundtracks, yes. So if you have that on vinyl,
Stand By Me,
pop
and
that
let's
in.
be honest, Mozart kills it.
Mozart kills it. Mozart kills it. Josh is saying that it was a chance for him to rewatch it since his best friend gave him the Clutches edition DVD a couple of years ago. I love that. That is amazing. That's a great one to have as a Clutches edition.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope everyone has an absolutely amazing night. Huge
Next
happy
time.
birthday to the one and only Paul Duncan. And we will see you all next week for Stand By Me, which is another sad but incredible movie. So hang in there with us for it. All right. We'll see you next time.
Night.
Thanks, everyone.
King and Nat, walking the scene